dad's hair.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I don't know where he got that hair from, but it's not his dad.
Nope.
No, he's in Jerome with the family because they're going to up there. They're going somewhere to go, like, camping.
So, but not camping.
I say camping. I think they're going cabining. You know what I mean? For
Hey, look, I want a cabin.
niece's birthday.
Birthday?
Yeah, they did the same thing last year.
Huh.
But, you know. That's why I wanted to do it yesterday, but obviously that didn't really work out, so.
Oh, you were going to go camping?
No, we were going to record last night, but I got home late and you didn't have power. Mike's like, I'm a little bitch. And so now we don't have Joe or Mike.
Fuck them bitches.
It's true. Speaking of fuck them bitches, comes naturally, we are. I'm Cody, and joined today is...
Die!
Hey, there we go. Those empty spaces, by the way, everybody, were for...
Can go fuck themselves.
Joe and Mike. Because they ain't here, so fuck them.
Miss your buddies.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
I'm sure Mike will love this intro.
I love it already.
You
More
should.
me, less them.
I mean, it's like that's kind of like a good thing for almost anybody, really.
Truth.
Halloween 4 and Halloween 5 returning to theaters next month.
Because we needed that.
Didn't everybody hate 4 and 5? No, 3 was the one everyone hated.
I legitimately haven't seen a Halloween movie in so long that I cannot remember what was good and what was not good.
Well, 3 was the Season of the Witch and didn't have Michael Myers in it.
All right. Clearly not good.
Yeah, so it's like, what now? Why 4 and 5, though? That seems weird. Why not 1 and 2?
Who owns...
Universal owns them?
Yeah. I wonder if 4 and 5 are owned differently.
And are super cheap, probably.
Yeah. Halloween...
Clickety-clack-clack. Clickety-clack-clack. There's not a whole lot of news to talk about, to tell you the truth.
There's a little bit. I read a couple of things that were, standout-ish.
Stand out.
What did you... I'm going to admit that I didn't listen to last week's episode yet, so...
Joe and I talked about the console wars.
Talked about what?
Console wars. Basically, PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X and S coming out.
Can we talk about the fucking shit show that was Tuesday?
You didn't try for a PlayStation, right?
No, I did not.
Yeah, because it was just as bad, if not worse, than the Xbox release.
I heard that there were some really angry people around the PlayStation pre-sale, pre-order, because essentially, the system would tell you that you reserved it, and then they're like, "Nah, you ain't got shit, dog."
Yeah, like no, there's none of those are left. It's like, well, I clicked the thing with the thing in the cart.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a nightmare all around for everybody, really.
Clearly, servers were just not made for pre-orders.
Well, and we were talking about this at work yesterday, I think it was. Yeah. The real problem with it is this is the first console cycle to be order online only.
True.
So, because same thing. So, GameStop wasn't even doing in-store reservations for them for either PlayStation or for Xbox because they didn't have release dates.
How did they not have release dates? ?
They didn't have release dates, so PlayStation didn't have one until their event the day before their pre-orders went up. I think everyone assumed it was the 19th of November, if I remember correctly, because I think that's...
Yeah, but we've known for a while...
Yeah.
Let me rephrase that. I don't want to say a while. We've known for at least a week when Xbox, when Microsoft was going to release
for sure.
the Xbox. We also knew when they were, their pre-order, everything. We knew well in advance.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Still a complete and utter shit show.
Yeah, for sure.
Complete fuck all.
Yeah, and the PlayStation was the same way. The difference is the PlayStation was like literally the next day. They're like, "Oh, it's gonna be a pre-order for tomorrow," and everyone's like, "I'm not ready for this. Like, what the hell? Like, do I have to pay for it right ahead of time, or is it gonna pay me later? Like, how am I doing this?"
Reservations.
Like, yeah, I'm like, well, if you get one, you probably have to. It's probably gonna bill you when it goes ready to be released, not right then and there, because they're not gonna gain money for stuff that's not somebody's already.
Right, because if something happens,
you have to fork off.
You're already on the no. And this is something that we kind of discussed in our text chat. The fuckers that intend to just basically resell these consoles for 3 times as much, blah blah blah, hoarded the entire fucking pre-order and fucked everybody else.
Yeah, so Joe and I talked about this last week too. Before the whole shit show that was the Xbox release or pre-orders, PlayStation tried to do a little bit differently because what they wanted to do is when you pre-order it, you got like a special bundle, but you had to use your PSN ID. So the PlayStation
it would limit you.
Yeah, so the PlayStation wasn't tied to it, but the pre-order was.
Right.
So then it means if you were to do that to resell it, you'd have to wait to get your console, get it, and then send it to the person who bought it from you, which means that you're probably going to piss off the person who bought it from you because they want it that quickly,
right? And
now they're not going to get it. So I was like, well, I mean, fuck them, first off. But yeah, no, like it was weird because like Xbox, like there's a lot of people complaining, like they like people were like posting like there was bots going in. I'm like, first off, online ordering of anything there's going to be bots. So that's probably one of the reasons that shit's is crashing because like they're just getting overrun by attempts to log
the bots
in.
are overloading the server.
Yeah. That's why I was talking to the people at work yesterday. I was like, what they should have done is you should have had to sign up to get into the pre-order with an active like email address, like a singular email address. Yeah. And then because like a lot of people are like, oh yeah, the bots have email addresses because of I get that, but you also should have to go in with your Microsoft account tied to it to get the pre-order.
Right, and I don't know that like all those fake email addresses don't have Microsoft accounts attached to them.
Exactly.
Because it would you have to singularly get those signed up, and then there's secondary verifications for each of those accounts, and it becomes a massive fuckery.
Yep.
Trying to get all that done, which does kind of hinder, I'm not going to say it, completely stops, but it hinders the bots and the shit, the fuckheads.
Yeah. So I texted, did I text? I don't think I texted you guys when I was talking about it, but I was like, I'm not in dire need of an Xbox or a PlayStation, especially not a PlayStation, because like,
you play less.
Yeah, there's one game I'm going to get on, the Spider-Man, the Miles Morales one. I can play that whenever. It's not like I need to have it to play with you guys or whatever.
Right.
Even for the Xbox, I don't need it right away because like Halo Infinite doesn't come out till next year now.
Right.
So it's like I don't really care about any of the games other than the upgraded. Like it'd be nice to play Cyberpunk 2077 in true 4K, but I'm like I don't really give two shits about it right away because I'm gonna have the game and I get a free upgrade because I'm gonna have the digital version, so I don't have to buy it a second time. Even though they said that if you buy the disc version, you can upgrade it as well too. But I was like, they're gonna have more consoles at launch. So as soon as they load up and they're like, hey, all access is available again, I'll just sign up for it, and then whenever they ship me the Xbox, I get the Xbox. I don't need it.
But then we'll still be able to go into the stores and get them as well.
Yeah, of course. You can go into stores and buy them, yeah. So, I mean, it doesn't really matter. You're going to be able to get them. They're going to be harder to find in stores because there's going to be limited supplies, just like there is whenever the consoles first launch. Like, trying to find a fucking Switch day 2 was fucking impossible. You know what I mean? Like, if you got lucky and, like, a store's like, we got another shipment, and they're, like, gone within minutes. That's the difference. Like I was saying, like, this is the first console cycle that pre-orders weren't a physical thing in store, and they weren't months ahead of time. I mean, yeah, they were months ahead of time, right? But they weren't like, hey, we got this, and this is how many we're going to get. Like, they're now liable to fill all those easier than it is like, oh, ship them to stores, and then stores are going to be fucked because they're not going to have any stock for in-store and things like that. So it'll be, I mean, a little bit better, but I was reading an article this morning or yesterday night or something like that where, like, PlayStation may not have all of the consoles ready for the pre-orders they did get. and then they're putting up a thing tomorrow. I think it is like the day this comes out, so Friday, the 25th. You're gonna be able to pre-order the next batch of them.
But they're still not sure they can fill the first batch?
Yeah. I was like, well, I don't know if that's good news. But again, that might be just like, shitty fucking internet rumors more than actual truth.
Right.
But I was like, come on, man, that's garbage. But I mean, the Xbox is the same thing. It's like, they're like, yeah, we're going to have more at launch. I'm like,
I don't believe you.
Yeah, I don't know if that's true or not, because like, why didn't you, like, how many truly did you have to pre-order that it just seemed like they're all gone?
Right.
Did you have 1 million? Did you pre-order 1 million consoles? I doubt it. Like, how many were you setting aside for all access in from just the different from Microsoft, GameStop, so you could do it through Microsoft themselves, GameStop, Target, Walmart, and Best Buy. I think were the 5 stores you could get the all access through, but also just pre-order consoles. So I mean, were those 1 million consoles, were those separated with those 5 retailers? Because that would explain why everything fucking crashed and everything sold out an hour later.
It was quicker than that.
Dude, it was ridiculous.
I was pretty pissed off.
Yeah, it was even things like one of the managers at my store, Bill, was like, "Yeah, I hit my cart and I hit the like purchase, and it's like, oh, sorry, this is out of stock now." And he's like, "But it was in my cart." And I was like, "Bro,
yeah,
welcome to the fucking."
Which means it should be reserved.
Yeah, you gotta finish that shit. You gotta fucking be logged in with your payment information ready to fly. So they can be like, all right, this guy got one.
Ridiculous.
And then did you see the other thing about people accidentally buying Xbox One S's?
The Xbox Ones.
Yeah, the digital one, because that one
awful
is it's still available for all access if you want to get one through the web.
Right.
So people are clicking on the wrong ones. They're like, oh, I got an Xbox One. Yeah, no, read what you just said there. Xbox One.
You don't want that, Chief.
Yeah, that's the digital version. You don't want that thing. Or actually, I don't think it was the digital version. I think it was like just the 1S. And I was like, yeah. Because they're like, oh, I can upgrade. Yeah, no, read the fine print. You can upgrade after 18 months. You have to make 18 payments before you can upgrade.
18 payments with that.
Yep.
Ugh.
Before you can get the new console that at that time will be then 2 years old.
Right.
You jackasses. Yeah. So
you lose.
It was a complete shit show, and I kind of knew it was going to be. Especially after the fervor and
the PlayStation one
breakdown of PlayStation. I was like, Xbox ain't going to do much better, I'll tell you right now.
Truth. And they didn't.
No.
They might have actually done worse, and that's hard to do when you last minute launch something and fuck it all up. Shocker.
Yeah. It was pretty rough for the most of that part.
Yeah. Enough about that bullshit.
Yeah, enough of that bullshit.
WandaVision.
Yeah, bud, what's up? How fucking wacky does that shit seem, huh?
So I was reading an article
mm-hmm.
about what WandaVision could be about.
House of M.
Yep. With the Marvel twist.
Yep.
Or excuse me, with the Disney Marvel twist.
Yep.
MCU twist. I could get down with that.
Yeah, no, it should be fun.
Yeah.
The part that's exciting about it is this and Doctor Strange can be their entry point to bringing in mutants, the Fantastic Four, and little things like that, because you're doing the multiverse. She is manipulating reality.
Tied to that.
Yep. And so they're going to be linked because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's been confirmed that Scarlet Witch will be in Doctor Strange.
I believe that is correct.
So that will most likely tie directly from the show into the movie.
Into that movie.
Yeah, which will help with the whole multiverse of madness thing. Because clearly she's going mad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if we think about it dynamically, she was just about to essentially quit the Avengers
mm-hmm.
to stay with Vision.
Yep.
Before they got attacked.
Yep.
And that's what drew her back in. Everything that she did subsequent to that was in an effort to keep Vision alive.
Yep.
And then he got his brain snatched out.
Yeah. Twice.
real violent like.
Twice. You got to remember, he died twice in that.
He died twice, but
she got done blowed his ass up.
She killed him once, and then Thanos really got him.
He reminded me of that the scene from is it Conan the Barbarian?
Oh,
the horn,
the Destroyer. No,
Destroyer. Yeah, Destroyer, right?
Yeah,
Barbarian's the first one, Destroyer. Yeah,
because that's the horn out of the fucking thing.
Yeah, and it's like with the tendons and like when I was younger, that part gave me the creeps because of how the snapping of them. You know what I mean?
Like, it was like pretty accurate, I would say.
Yeah, like I don't know what a crazy fucking demon would look like, but if that's what I imagine it look like, the horn's going to be pretty attached. You know what I mean? Even though technically most things have horns is part of the skull, but you know,
it was demons. It was deeper than that. You know?
Yeah,
what I mean?
It was like rooted in. Like,
yeah,
it was like
it grew roots real fast.
And then what was that movie where the dude's eye dangled out? Remember, and he's like, "I can see my feet."
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's been a while, but yeah, there's a point. And it had like the same thing where it was like, it looked like beyond atomically correct because like there's extra stuff attached to the eye, and it's like, blah, my eye is all.
You could say Kill Bill too when.
Oh yeah,
she snatched out that eyeball, and it had a little something on the end of it too, and then she fucking towed that motherfucker, which is the grossest thing ever because I hate feet. But
bear toed it. Yeah.
Ugh.
Can you imagine like?
Not.
I would probably like. No, we need to do that again.
Up.
We need to do that again. Like to shoot like 5 times. I'm like, yeah, no, Uma, you need to get the little more squish out the toe. So I need you to separate the toes.
Can you separate the big toe?
When you frog stamp this thing, I needed to see come through the toe area.
I would vomit every single time.
Yeah, that's pretty gnarly.
Yeah. So, looks good. Do you think that they'll tie in the Magneto father piece of this all? Especially with Quicksilver dead?
No, but someone did point out a fact that, like, Quicksilver could come back.
Because of Wanda's...
The time fuckery with it. And the fact that if they're going to multiverses, there could be a multiverse where he didn't die.
Where he didn't die, yeah.
And so, like, I mean, he may not come back, like, permanently, but you could see him make a cameo in it or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But the whole thing with Magneto is, like, if they do, it's going to be one of those things where, like, it's going to be a different version of their father.
Right.
You know what I mean? And introduce, obviously, a different actor as Magneto, unfortunately.
That would suck.
It just sucks because Ian McKellen is a little too old for that, like, for them to continue on with it, you know what I mean?
Fair. But, I mean, they could easily make it where both Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart are, that version of Magneto and Professor X lived in that multiverse where they're just older and have, as a result, had ruled for a while, or not them had ruled, but, Magneto had ruled for a while. It's possible to keep them as the characters, but you're probably right that they'd probably switch the character.
Yeah, they'll probably switch out the actor for somebody else.
Younger.
Yeah, just just so they can like give you like, hey, this is where we're gonna go from now on.
Or they could, bring back your favorite series.
You shut your whore mouth. I loved Michael Fassbender as younger Magneto. I loved James McAvoy.
He personified the anger very well.
Yeah, but we cannot tie anything to those movies ever again. I refuse. I will literally not go watch those
series from jump.
Dude, as soon as it went to fucking what was the first one?
First Class.
Yeah, First Class. Terrible fucking movie.
You've hated it from jump.
Just fucking awful. They should be ashamed of themselves. Ashamed of themselves. There's a lot of cool stuff in it, but there's also a lot of terrible stuff in it.
I agree. Some of the characters that they put into that series.
Well, and like one of the things that threw me off, like
an abomination.
It made me mad is like the fact they made Cyclops' little brother his older brother.
Right.
Even though they have an older brother. And I was like, then, like, them just going away from physics, the fact that Banshee uses his voice to fly, right? And he has the wingsuit. One of the wings tears, and he's holding somebody, but yeah, he's still flying. And he talks while doing it. I was like...
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure he was talking, or if not, there was some, there were some misses there for sure.
Yeah, you're not flying, bud. You're gliding, and using your voice to push yourself up and then the wind. But if one wingsuit goes by, if I like rip a wing off a bird, they ain't flying.
You don't glide, yeah.
You know what I mean?
They don't fly, they don't glide.
Yeah.
They fall.
They fly like a rock, as some would say. But anyways.
So, I'm actually kind of excited for that show.
Yeah, no, I'm super excited. I mean, it was funny to see it because, like, there was, like, people were pointing out, like, there's stuff that has, like, the M on it and stuff, and I was like, also, if you watch...
bottle of wine.
Yeah, like, if you look at it, she's wearing her old costume, which her headdress is an M.
Right.
So it's, like, not that tough. But the one thing I did love was it looked like they were trick-or-treating, and Vision was wearing a costume, like his old-school costume, but his face was back to being Vision. And he's had, like, this shitty-looking felt-like costume on, and I was like, that's such a good detail to do. It's so funny.
They appear to have done a great job. Not a surprise considering that this is Disney money we're talking about.
Yeah.
And they really have the ability to go all out with this. And Feige is really brilliant at this stuff at this point. Yeah. So not surprised that they really hit some nails right on the head and did some really cool stuff with it.
Oh, a little thing. WandaVision trailer had more views in 24 hours than the Avengers Infinity War Super Bowl spot. Okay.
All right.
Seems pretty crazy, but now again, nobody can go out and watch movies, so they had to watch it somewhere.
Right. Can't say I'm overly surprised.
Yeah, not at all. Yeah, like, and the other thing too is I think it was a really, like, they did his... Did you watch the special features how they made Vision with
no.
prosthetic or with cosmetics as well as CG?
No.
So he has a prosthetic covers over his head that covers, like, his ears, but there's slats in it so he could hear, because otherwise he wouldn't be able to hear anybody because it's covering his ears, right? So they have to digitally take those out. So it's a lot of, like, that's a lot of time and money, right? So
a lot of work, yeah.
I noticed in this one they actually let him transform into a human form.
I did see that, and he's got terrible hair.
Yeah, of course, yeah, because, like, it's set in the 50s or whatever. But I was like, that's actually a pretty clever way of getting around the whole, like, having to be a CG character, like, CG augmented character so much through that. I'm like, oh, just give him...
They save money on that end.
Yeah, I was like, that's... And also just time, because, like, then you don't have to go through and, like, literally digitize out in every fucking scene, get, like, add in the sparkle and stuff, and the cape's not real, so, like, that has to be added in, and, yeah, all sorts of crazy stuff. And then people said that one of the scenes where you can see the Infinity Stone blinks in and out, and I was like, "Oh, I have to rewatch those." I didn't rewatch.
Yeah, I gotta go back and look.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know, was that just one of the things if he's transformed or whatever? But I don't know. But it looks pretty interesting, and it will be out this year. Did they give us a date? Right? Did they give us a date?
Don't think they did.
I know they said it'll be out this year.
December 2020.
Oh, is it December? Okay.
Yeah. Budget of $150 million, because why not?
Yeah, because they make money. So they're like, yeah, sure. Here's a television program that gets a $150 million budget.
That's nuts. Bigger than some movies.
Yeah. Bigger than a lot of movies.
A lot of movies, yeah.
And then do you see they push back Black Widow?
They pushed back the entire
slate
series.
Of stuff, yeah. Which makes me think there's some fuckery going on with that too, and they're gonna have some way, because, like, there's a lot of people saying that, like, they're gonna pass the mantle of Black Widow onto what's her face's character?
No clue.
Poe. What's her name? She was in the Fighting With My Family movie where she played Paige. Anyways, they're gonna, like, pass the mantle onto her, and then, like, at the end of it, there's gonna be a scene where it shows her in present day, which is 2024, right? 5 years after 2019 or something, whatever the year it technically is. And she's gonna be the new Black Widow, and from like going on. Florence Poe, that's her name.
Florence Poe.
I think it's pronounced Florence Poe. She'll be the new Black Widow continuing on because Scarlet is technically dead. Which is horse shit because she can come back. She didn't die from the stones.
She died from the fall.
Exactly. That's why Gamora could technically come back. But I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to use the one that didn't get snapped, even though...
Right, they're gonna use the old Gamora.
Technically, she should be snapped out, though. Because did Tony know she was good at that point? Because he remember his snap was to get rid of Thanos and his army. She was part of his army when they came through.
No, because she had already turned before they came through.
But did Tony know that?
No, but I don't know that he knew who Gamora was either. He didn't know who Gamora was either, so really it would have to just be the followers of Thanos, and she wasn't one.
I guess it could be, yeah. But yeah, I mean, otherwise I don't know how they're going to do that. Guardians of the Galaxy Chapter 3, The Search for Gamora.
Yeah. As Guardians of the Galaxy, by the way.
Yeah, it's true, as Guardians of the Galaxy. Which is another one that's interesting because there was a rumor saying that Hemsworth was done after Love and Thunder.
Uh-huh.
But then he came back and said, no, I never said that. I said that I will literally come back anytime they want Thor. And I was like, yeah, bro, do it. Do it. They can just throw you in every Guardians movie from now on to the end of time. I don't give a fuck. Even if you aren't Fat Thor. I don't care.
I pray to God he stays Fat Thor for a little while, though.
Yeah, I don't know how long it's going to last, but that's pretty goddamn hilarious.
So amazing. Excuse me.
Oh, well, bless you, sir. Netflix canceled Dark Crystal, Age of Resistance, by the way.
Really?
Yep.
I did not know that.
Right after it fucking won a technical Emmy.
Smart.
Yeah, they do that shit a lot, though. They already had that shit ready to go.
Netflix cancels a lot of stuff that's really good.
Yeah, and it always seems to be really popular after they do it right after season 2 of something that's really popular, and there's nah, we're done. And you're like, oh,
that's what they legitimately canceled Marco Polo, which was wildly popular. Yep. Season 2 done.
Altered Carbon
season 2. Get out.
The OA, they did the same thing too. Sense 8 was a little different though because they gave Sense 8 a movie though.
Right.
But I was still that was a huge one. What was the other one? There's another big one. They did that too as well, and I was like, damn.
I wonder if Netflix contracts the actors to do a sequel or a second series or something, and then after that they get that second series and they have to re-up. They're like, no, I'm good.
Well, maybe, yeah. I don't know. Oh, this is what I was going to bring up. So, obviously, you watched the trailer for season 2 of The Mandalorian, right?
Absolutely.
And just everywhere.
Yeah, all over the place.
So, Giancarlo Esposito, during interview for he's the one that plays the bad guy at the end with the black bladed saber.
The saber.
Yeah. He was doing an interview for The Boys season 2, I believe, and someone asked him about Mandalorian, what's going on, and he says, and I quote, "The Mandalorian season 4 is when you're really gonna start getting answers." And I was like, "Bitch,
say season 4?
Season 4 or episode 4? Because there's a big difference between
there's a huge difference between
3
season 4
years
and
from
episode
now
4.
and a few weeks
3
from
episodes from now.
Because you got to be out of your fucking mind.
That's a long way to go before you start getting answered.
Mm-hmm.
As much as I like The Mandalorian, I don't know if I could stick around for 3 whole seasons of not getting answers.
Yeah, but nothing fucking going on. Come on, man.
Yeah, just fucking Friends episodes.
Whole seasons of filler.
Ugh, man, that would be upsetting.
What is this, Dragon Ball Z? Let's see what else is there going on. Nothing going on there.
Let's see.
No, nobody will ever admit that Mortal Kombat was a good movie.
The original Mortal Kombat?
Yeah. Or Annihilation.
It's alright.
They terrible, bro.
You said it ain't terrible?
No, they is terrible.
Nah.
They real bad.
I mean, we can, lump the first Mortal Kombat right in there with, like, the first best of the best.
You shut your whore mouth. I will end this fucking call. If Mike heard you say that, when he hears this,
so angry.
You're gonna get a hate text. I guarantee you.
I'm okay with that.
Like he may remove you from the group chat.
Oh, salty pants.
Yeah, dude, he loves that movie.
Oh, did you see the back to the Xbox, because why not? The cost of the second terabyte.
Yeah, $229.99.
Fuck you!
But the thing is, and I was telling this to Joe, we were talking about last week, the reason why, not that it should be that price. There's no reason that it should be that price.
Absolutely none.
But the reason it's that price is because it has the same read-write speed as the internal drive.
I get that. But still,
$230 for an external drive. And it is a terabyte, but still, like, external drive.
Out of your fucking mind.
Yeah, I'm like, no, I will delete shit first.
I will delete shit first for the rest of my fucking life, which I'm doing with my current Xbox, which is a terabyte of memory. I'll delete. Fuck it. I don't give a shit. Yeah. It stays in the memory of it. It knows that you've downloaded it before, so you can download it again with less issues and all that. But fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, nope.
Hey, good news. Guess what I'm not buying?
I'll buy that shit when it's on sale.
Listen, if I won the lottery, hundreds of millions of dollars, I still wouldn't buy that shit.
Out of spite.
Out of spite, you're right. Because I can afford it.
Yep.
Still not going to do it. Fuck you.
Fuck you.
So, yeah. Fuck. That dumb shit. I don't know. Like, anybody who buys that should be ashamed of themselves at this point. And they haven't even started selling it yet.
Yeah, because they just released
you can't buy that. No, you shouldn't.
I think Microsoft just put up the Xbox Series S and X accessories, I believe.
Yeah.
And like that was where that came from, and I was like, well, I mean, that seems like yikes pants to me. You know what I mean? Like that seems like a lot.
It doesn't seem like a lot. It is a lot.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. A big difference. Yeah. Seems is.
You right. And they showed off the controller colors, right? If I'm not mistaken.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Was that the PlayStation controller cover?
No, it was the Xbox one.
The Xbox.
Yeah, they have the black one, which looks like it comes with the console. The white one that comes with the S console, and they have a blue one. But the weird thing with the blue one is it's not solid blue. It is just a blue shell with blue thumbsticks, but it has a black D-pad on it. And so the back of the controller still is white, not all blue. And it looks like the shoulder buttons are black as well.
I'm legitimately not going to miss my opportunity to say that you're a black D-pad.
I've been called worse today.
Today?
Yeah. By my mother.
Ooh.
Good thing. The controllers are only $60. I was going to like...
Only.
Well, the blue one's actually more. So the blue... I don't understand Xbox's pricing when it comes to their fucking controllers.
They clearly don't give a shit, and they're just going to charge you whatever the fuck they feel like at the time.
Basic-ass controller. They call it Carbon Black and Robot White, which A, seems racist, but we're going to go with it. $59.99. $60 for controller. A, that's fucking dumb.
By the way, controller costs as much as a fucking game.
Yeah. Like a AAA game. Like AAA full-line, Madden or fucking, Call of Duty
legit game.
The Shock Blue controller, which isn't all blue, and is not shocking, hopefully, because that would be a really bad way to play a video game. $65.
$65.
$64.99. But you can pick a Design Lab NFL controller for $85.
Who does this shit?
Like,
even fanboys shouldn't be that dumb.
Yeah. Well, it's my favorite team, bro. First off, no.
Just paint it on your wall.
Yeah,
Fucking,
come on, man. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
They choose like the weirdest controllers to be like $70. Like this Night Ops Camo Special Edition is $70. It's the same controller with a different color scheme on it. I'm like, A, it's ugly. And
they
B,
throw numbers at a wall and see what sticks.
Yeah. It's annoying.
Very annoying.
Anyhow.
Reading IGN. Affleck, Cavill, and Fisher to film new cutscenes.
Yeah, so I saw that, but then later I saw an article saying that Henry Cavill's not going to be part of the reshoots come November. Because he's going to be off in, was it Norway, shooting Witcher Season 2?
Maybe they're shooting right now, because there are some productions that have greenlit.
Yeah, because
shoot again.
The reason, so Fisher, because there's a lot of stuff that didn't get used because Joss Whedon's a racist or whatever. By the way, Fisher, if you don't know, plays Cyborg, the only character of color in the movie.
Right.
But Batfleck, he was like, as soon as they officially announced the Snyder Cut, he's like, yeah, I'm down. You let me know. I'll come
whatever
back
you
and
want.
do whatever.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
Which is cool. But also he's coming back for the Flash movie, Flashpoint as it's known now, which is now getting rumors that that's going to be the DCU's way of, or DCEU, sorry, Detective Comics Extended Universe. Dumbest fucking title ever. Anyways. Well, they can't call it the DCU because then that's just like Marvel's. Because
it's a rip, and then they can copyright.
Yeah.
Or is it copywritten?
Well, no, but that they don't want to be just like them, even though they should have, because then they would make more money. But I digress. Yeah. But they call it the DCEU, which is DC Extended Universe.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. They're saying that the Flashpoint movie is going to be their way to reboot their universe. And I'm like, yeah, but didn't we already get told that Pattinson's version of Batman is not part of that world and it's its own little entity? Same thing with the Joker movie.
Right.
So, like...
That was said.
Is that just their way of getting a different Batman in place versus old Batfleck? What do you want to call him? So I don't know. It's weird. I don't know. It's weird because like they're bringing in like they're gonna have multiple Batmans because they're gonna have Michael Keaton come back as Tim Burton's Batman.
Yeah,
but
I did hear that.
Older because like
much
you can't really you can CG as much as you want, but like that's not gonna work out so well. I mean, you couldn't even CG out a fucking mustache properly, so who knows what you can do with the fucking face redo. But yeah, so it'd be interesting to see. But I'm like, yeah, that's a perfect way to do it because he's going to be fucking with the timelines. So like, he can easily just, accidentally erase somebody. But I don't know.
Side note or sidebar.
Sidebar. Ooh, I like sidebars.
Which Batman would you like to see come to life on the big screen? I mean, we have a lot of options here.
We do. At this point, I really want to see Batman Beyond.
Same.
Because I think they could do a really, really good job with it, but also they could really fuck it up.
They could.
But I mean, the Dark Knight Returns, right? What was the third one called? Dark Knight Returns.
Dark Knight Returns. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I was trying to remember, like, Dark Knight Strikes Back is the cartoon or comic book one. Okay. Dark Knight Returns. The Christopher Nolan third movie with Bane and
Rises.
I'm sorry, Dark Knight Rises. I say again, I'm getting those messed up because they're like the R words and like Batman and like Dark Knight, whatever. Anyhow, Dark Knight Rises. That had the complete and utter stepping stones to make a Batman Beyond.
It did.
He had a new flying vehicle that looked a lot like the one from the cartoon.
Yes.
Looked
he
more
was
like
getting up there in age.
Getting up there in age. He even showed that he had a robot-assisted knee brace.
Right, yeah.
Because he kicked through that fucking pillar, which, by the way, don't kick through what looks to be support pillars in a cave that's underneath the building. that already was on fire once.
Don't tell me what to do, bro.
I won't, but I'm just saying, just pro tip, probably don't do that. Because are you going to fucking, like, kill the next contractor? You have to come down there? I know they did the whole thing. You get multiple contractors come out and do blah, blah, blah. But, like, that dude's going to come down and go, this looks like a bat cave.
This seems like a bad idea.
Battering to the throat.
Bad dead.
But yeah, like he had the like robotic assisted knee brace to help him, like, walk because his knees are all jacked up, and obviously his back was broken. And then like the Batmobile thing he had, like the Batwing or whatever you want to call it, was like very reminiscent of the one from Batman Beyond. So I mean, I could have easily seen that being like that's the stepping stone, because you could have given it to like the Batmantle over to fucking Joseph Gordon-Levitt, even though they named him Robin, which is still one of the worst things they fucking ever did. I hate that more than I do the Martha thing.
Really?
I do. I fucking loathe it.
The Martha call out?
Yeah. Because then you have, like, he can't ever be Robin.
True.
Because his name's Robin. Like, hey man,
your
other than the domino mask, you look a lot like this guy Robin I used to know. Anyhow, I hated that. They're like, oh, I know, I get it. Like, he could have been nicknamed Robin. He could have had anything other than his name actually being Robin.
Yeah, it was a bad move.
Yeah, and I do hate it more to this day still than I do the whole Martha thing.
Martha.
Like, dumb. Stupid. Dumb. I hate you. Anyhow.
If they brought the Beyond series, who would you cast as the Joker? Because Hamill can't do it.
Well, so they don't have a traditional Joker, though, in that, because they had the Jokers.
That's true. They did,
which
have
is the gang, and then you have the Royal Flush, which is the family, which they didn't actually have a Joker or a Jester.
Joker. They didn't have a patriarch yet.
Yeah. They were king, queen, blah blah blah. Ace was like this big dude. I was like, shouldn't he have been like a dude that could be both? Anyway, it doesn't matter to me. Could be a 1 or an 11. But for the Joker, because the reason why you can't really have a Joker unless they do the Return of the Joker, or Revenge of the Joker, because that's the storyline they used in the Batman Beyond movie, and that was Hamill, because he got his consciousness, or at least a version of it, put in a chip that was put in the back of was that Tim Drake, right? Was that version of
so? Yeah.
So that's when he transformed, somehow manipulated his body to look like the Joker, which, whatever, it's fucking science. They can do whatever they want. So Hamill was that Joker again. So technically you could do that if you wanted to, but because you could easily do it where, like, Mark Hamill plays the older version of Tim Drake, and then instead of making him turn into look like the Joker, which was a whole body morph, because like he went from being a fat, shorter guy, which horse shit that Tim Drake would ever become a fat piece of shit like that.
No, he would not.
Even with PTSD from being fucking, almost murdered.
Fucked.
Yeah, like murdering people, whatever.
Yeah.
It's just no way he would have turned into that fat piece of garbage. Again, I digress. Going back to what I was saying, you could have him, and then he could literally just manically change over to being the Joker. And it's just basically a tonal change of his voice.
Right.
Because you can go from talking like normal Mark Hamill into that fucking psychotic giggle.
Joker voice, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And you could do a whole digital thing where, like, he's just like, you only see him as a digital representation of him. Like, you never see the physical. Or you could
just see him in the shadows and stuff like that, which would be awesome. And then,
the reveal would be, like, it's Tim Drake / Joker.
Right.
The problem with it is, if you make Mark Hamill Tim Drake, people are just going to guess it.
Right.
Which is shitty. But the other thing you can do, too, if you really want to do it, is you would have an older actor playing Tim Drake. Then, when the switches over, you could have Mark Hamill do the Joker voice coming out of that person's body.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. So the changeover is just a voiceover.
Exactly.
Instead.
Yeah.
Right.
So that'd be cool, too. But not like I've ever thought about it or anything.
Clearly you haven't.
Nope. Just right off the top of my head.
Yeah, riffing. You're just riffing.
Mm-hmm, that's what I do. But so you agree with Batman Beyond to be the one you'd want?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think we're going to get a different spin and look to it when we get Pattinson's version.
Yeah, but I mean, if you were to guess at what series it was most closely related to, I don't think it would be Beyond at all.
No, it's gonna be closer to early like Batman Year One, Batman
Like,
Year Two.
yeah,
So
like
less,
Batman original animated.
yeah, like it's gonna be more closer to the animated series, less of Tim Burton, way less than Tim Burton's.
Way less.
Because like Tim Burton's the first movie. Remember, no one had seen him yet. No one knew who Batman was yet. Because even
Right.
the Joker was like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" You know, he's like, "This guy," and all these toys.
Right. Brandon.
Where did he get these wonderful toys? But like, so I think we're gonna see one where like, because even in the trailer, they make you think like there's like this myth of this dude that is Batman, but then like it's him emerging from the shadow and be like, "No, I am vengeance. I am gonna be," and people are like, "Oh," like they see him, and they're like, "We in trouble," because last time someone saw this dude, he repeatedly punched that dude real hard on the face, and now that guy
Real hard.
doesn't have half a face. Maybe you could always call him Two-Face, and it'd be like, "Oh no, that guy's face doesn't work anymore," and that's bad news. You know what I mean? But I don't know. It's gonna be interesting because like there's rumors it may be rated R
I could get down with that.
because like there's like gonna be full on like on-screen deaths, and you can only have so many of those without like with unless you can do like
have to rate it. Yeah.
yeah, you could do it with, as long as you have like almost no blood whatsoever when they die. But you can't have like you can't have the visceral look for it. But like I don't know the number, but like it's probably
You
like,
could do a Disney thing and then just kind of allude to the death and then show like a still body like in Lion King and get away with rating it PG.
Yo, speaking of that, so we didn't talk about Who Framed Roger Rabbit because you weren't there.
Right.
When's the last time you watched that movie? This will be the last
Been
one
a
before
while.
we get in. Yo, how is that movie not rated R?
It is naughty,
Bro,
and there's a lot of violence.
there's a
in that
lot
movie.
of on-screen death, not just of cartoons.
Yes.
Fucking RJ Maroon gets shot in the back 3 times on camera with
Yes.
actual blood, like squibs with blood, and I was like,
Yeah,
What?
that movie did a lot of stuff. Like
Baby
would-
Herman talking like pointing down to his dinkus and saying it's like 3 months or whatever. I was like,
yeah,
you
there's
can't do that.
So much stuff you can't do. You can't even think about doing that now without getting a rated R.
Yeah, like, dude, you can't have a baby, even if it's a cartoon, talking about his fucking binky
Yeah,
and pointing out his diaper. You can't do that.
yeah.
Then there's a scene where, like, I'm pretty sure it's racist because Eddie gets thrown out from peeping into the keyhole on Jessica and Acme, and the bouncer is a gorilla. And as he walks away, he goes, "Ooga booga." I was like, you can't do that. Right? You can't. There's too much. You could be like, "Oh no, that's racist." I'm like, I think it is.
But that was also kind of an era.
Exactly.
When,
And he
when,
was a
like-
gorilla, but I'm like, still don't think you can do that.
but that was they were still the Mel Brooks movies.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's stuff
Bro.
that you could get away with and nobody would think twice about. That if you did today, Mel Brooks could not make a movie today.
No.
Period.
No. No one would let him do it. Like you can't. Like even Spaceballs, you're like, nope. There's fellatio jokes in there. You can't do that. You can't do that. Actually, speaking of things, and this will be the last thing, I promise. I don't think I know. I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry. I love that movie, but I don't
Yeah.
think you can make that movie now, right?
Probably not. Not well. You could.
It would have to be released on a Netflix or like one of those. It would never go into theaters. I mean, not now that anything goes into theaters right now. But like,
It would-
I don't know if you could do it because there's a lot of gay slurs in it, but there's also a lot of like really inappropriate stuff in it too. But I'm like, I don't know if you could make that right now and not get fucking like accosted like that French movie with the little girls in the fucking tight clothes.
Right. It would be one of those things where people complained
Yeah, for sure.
quite a bit.
For sure.
A Me Too type movement.
Yeah, like it would be real bad.
Yeah.
Real bad.
Real
By the
bad.
way, we were wrong on the price of the expansion card.
219.
$219.99. Yeah, my bad.
Still.
I threw another $10 on.
You
there.
originally said 229. Then
I'm in
239.
now. It's only
Good.
$220. So give me 3.
Fuck. I'm still out.
Give me 3. It's the cost of another console.
No, I'm past.
But I have 4 times the storage that I can only use one at a time, anyways.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can only use one.
Which games run
Yeah.
which man? Plug them in. Yeah, I don't know. That's just fuck that nonsense.
Fuck that nonsense.
What's gonna come out later is like the Xbox Series X Lite or whatever they call it, Pro, whatever they're gonna throw on there, right? And it's gonna be like a 4 terabyte drive. I'm like, fuck me. Here's these 9 cards I bought, and I don't need them anymore. Because who needs that much? You know what I mean?
I'll just delete.
Oh, we have that time anyways.
Done.
Anything else you want to talk about since we're all over the fucking board on stuff here?
No, I don't think so.
I don't even know what the fuck we're gonna call this. Maybe fuck Mike and Joe.
Fuck them bitches.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell I'm gonna call this episode. Anyways, that's it for this week's episode of Comes Naturally. I am Cody, and again, we were joined by
Taj.
All right, kids. As usual, like we always say at the end of these, you fuckers just came naturally.
In your butt.
Ew.